Getting it harder way, certainty. Back with another EP. And y'all do your boy a favor. Y'all smash that like button for your boy when you roll on in. We'll greatly appreciate it. If y'all could smash that like button for your boy when you roll on in. We here for a good time and a long time this morning. Shout out my guy, Judah Ben Israel. Appreciate you sliding through this, young Judah Ben. I'm going to drop the flames one time because you the first comment. Judah Ben was good. Appreciate you sliding through this, John Judy. Glad you could make it. Today we here to talk about, the post-fight reactions, the weekend reactions from the fight. So you know what I mean, as well. All in all, on the card yesterday, I'm gonna give that card. I'm gonna give that card I'm gonna give the whole fight weekend. The cards total day. I'm gonna give the whole day the grade of an A. You know what I mean? I was highly entertained yesterday with the sport of boxing versus Ortiz. He stepped in and he looked impressive. We got a chance to see Cobbs, make his return. I want to chop it up about that a little bit as well. We saw Kid Austin in action. You know what I mean? I want to chop it up about that. As well. This is a prospect day yesterday. I don't know if this was done on purpose, but I kind of felt a tone being set yesterday of like prospects. It was a prospect tone set yesterday. There was a lot of prospects, high level prospects, mid level prospects. Prospects on the rise yesterday. There was a lot of those guys in action, and every last one of them, delivered yesterday. I think Ortiz delivered. I think Kid Austin delivered. And I know a lot of people probably ain't gonna like this, but I think that Cobbs, he delivered yesterday. But we go get into it. We go get into it. First things first. Can y'all do your boy a favor? Can y'all smash that like button for your boy? If this your first time, don't make it your last time. If you could, hit that like button and subscribe. And also, we gonna talk a little MMA today as well. Jamal Hill was impressive in his knockout victory over Santos. So we gonna throw a little bit of that in there as well. But what I'm gonna start with, Kid Austin. Do y'all know who Kid Austin is? Floyd Schofield, AB the IT was good. Appreciate you sliding through this, John AB. Glad you can make it. Appreciate you sliding through this, John. My guy Judah. We gonna talk about the Judah. Yeah, we gonna talk about Bomac as well too, and Bomac training, his training strategy or training issue. You know what I mean? Something happened in that corner last night. They jumped out to me, Jelly Bean. 428. It was good. Appreciate you sliding through this, John Jelly Bean. If y'all could, do your boy a favor. Smash that like button for your boy. Whether you're here for a good time or a long time, if y'all could, do your boy a favor and smash that like button. But yeah, Judah, we gonna talk about Bomac and his failure, you know what I mean, as a trainer, and how I believe that Bud Crawford has carried Bomac as far as he is. I don't think Bomac is that good of a trainer. I think Bud Crawford carried him. And we also gonna talk about what Bomac had to say, or the lack of what Bomac had to say to Mo Hooker in that corner. But we'll start with Kid Austin. I want to start with Kid Austin. I don't want to hop into that Bomac situation just yet. I want to let a few more people, get here before I get into that Bomac situation. But we gonna talk about Kid Austin, Floyd Schofield. You know what I mean? A rising prospect is Schofield. You know what I mean? He's about what? He's 18, he's 19 years old, but he's had a lot more fights than your typical, 19-year-old. Tay MMA was good, Tay. Appreciate you sliding through this joint. TWT in the building. Appreciate you sliding through this, John Tay. Glad you can make it. Shay Girl 85, what's good, Shay Girl? Appreciate you sliding through this John Shade, girl. Glad you could make it. Glad you could make it. Y'all do your boy a favor. Y'all smash that like button for your boy when you roll on in. We're in here having our weekend post fight reaction. I'm trying to give the people a little time, to slide on in. But we having our post fight reaction from this week, from the weekends. Talking a little, little Virgil Ortiz, a little Cobbs, a little Kid Austin as well. Type there. And we're gonna talk about how we're gonna talk a little MMA as well. Jamal Hill fought yesterday. He knocked out Junior Dos Santos. You know what I mean? To get his biggest win of his career. So we're gonna talk a little MMA as well. We also gonna talk about did I say Bomac? We're gonna talk about Blur Cobb, and we're gonna talk about their fight as a whole, Mo Hooker as well. My girl Shay girl said I like Kid Austin. Okay, bet. So we're gonna get a little Kid Austin in today. Kid Austin fought yesterday. We're gonna actually start with Kid Austin. We're gonna actually start with Kid Austin today. Try to let a couple more people roll in, but I think I got enough of y'all in here. We can go and get into it. But as I was saying, we're gonna start with Kid Austin. We're gonna start with Kid Austin. Kid Austin had him an impressive knockout victory yesterday. Of course, there were ups, there were downs, but for the most part, Kid Austin, did great. Kid Austin is a guy. He's social media famous, right? He has I should say nice, right? He has a nice social media following. Does Kid Austin, Floyd Schofield. He's one of those guys who I feel like is on the brink. Like he's a guy I feel like is on the brink of being a superstar of tomorrow. You know what I mean? He's with Eddie Hearn in the zone. I think Eddie Hearn in the zone doesn't always do quite the best job at steering their young American prospects, right? They don't always do the best job at steering their young American prospects to stardom. Now, rather that's because Eddie Hearn can't do it, or rather that's because Eddie Hearn doesn't want to do it. When it comes to the black superstars over there, Eddie Hearn, some of them he does push. He do push. He pays all of them. Some of them he does push correctly, but for the most part, the fighters, the African American fighters, they go to Oscar De La Hoya and Golden Boy. They tend to fizzle out, but Kid Austin, he's on the track, to be one of the ones, that actually make it through. My only problem with Kid Austin, inside the ring. I'm gonna go outside the ring first. My only problem with Kid Austin outside of the ring is I think he may be a little too muscular. Now it ain't became a problem, or it hasn't shown itself to be a problem or anything like that yet. You know what I mean? But as you move up in the weight, the muscles get hard to carry, into the later rounds, because you gotta, in order to keep the blood flowing through the muscles, right? I mean, you gotta work harder to keep the blood flowing through bigger muscles. You know what I mean? So he fights at 135, but he's a stacked dude. You know what I mean? So I'm not sure exactly how the stamina issue is going to carry when he step up in competition. But just one of my alarms is that he's extremely muscular, and in boxing you don't necessarily need to be overly muscular. I don't have a problem with Kid Austin's offensive package. Kid Austin has the complete offensive package. With Kid Austin, the thing is going to be him getting his timing and him getting settled in more than anything. Explosive athlete, you know what I mean? He could take a punch, as well. Explosive guy with Kid Austin. The thing for him is going to be, just getting the experience, slowing the fight down, and just letting the fight come to him more than pushing the fight. Because I think there were times yesterday where he got a little antsy, for the knockout, which is understandable, especially with him being where he is in his maturation process. he got a little antsy, you know, or at times he didn't get out of control antsy. That's the word, like, oh, he got too out of control where he might get hurt. Like, it was never that kind of thing, but he got antsy in the sense where sometimes he might get in a hurry and he'll let his punches get out in the front of him. He'll get to throwing punches, you know, from bad angles because he's super athletic, and rather than, you know, sticking to his discipline and boxing himself to that spot. Sometimes he let his athleticism take over, and he might. And it's a good thing and a bad thing too. I know about Kid Austin, right? He can switch hit beautifully, but sometimes he switches naturally, right? And he does that. I don't want to say he does that when he get uncomfortable, but sometimes he switches to find his footing, you know, instead of maintaining, you know, front foot dominance or maintaining, maintaining one style or one side. You know what I mean? Because sometimes switching too much, you know, although it confuses your opponent, sometimes it can confuse you too as well. Like, it'll get your feet out of place, how you throwing punches from bad angles. So Kid Austin did that a couple times, you know, not too many times. You know, me just nitpicking him. I could nitpick, you know, that. He showed a little, his feet was a little antsy. You know what I mean? Sometimes he would throw himself into a position, and sometimes he would launch himself into a position instead of box himself into a position. Just Duke was good, Just. Appreciate you sliding through this, John Just. TWT in the building. Shay Girl said, oh, Eddie Hearn overall doesn't know how to move fighters. Shay Girl on his day. Yep. Facts, Shay Girl. He really don't. But Kid Austin with Eddie Hearn, so I hope he do a little better job, you know, with Kid Austin and getting Kid Austin right type deal. But I was impressed, you know, with Kid Austin. I think Kid Austin the problems that Kid Austin have, those problems are going to be fixed with time. The problems that he have is nothing that's not easily fixable. Adjustment here or adjustment there. Kid Austin is the guy who works hard in the gym. You know what I mean? If you don't believe me, you can go check out his social medias. You know, that's his thing. I think that's partly why he carrying around all them muscles. You know what I mean? At 135, because he works so hard in the gym. I don't think that man have to do, you know, all that physical work in the gym that he do, lift all that iron. I think he would be even better, you know, if he lost, you know, some of those muscles off him, or if he moved up in the weight. But I like Kid Austin. I was impressed with Kid Austin with what he was doing. My only thing is he should work on being a little more patient in the ring. So when he get in there with more veteran fighters, he don't gas himself out, because a veteran fighter is going to be able to pick up on that, you know, better than that guy that he fought yesterday. But I think Kid Austin is one of the bright prospects in boxing, and I think Kid Austin is going to be a problem at 135. I think Kid Austin one day Kid Austin go be fighting, you know, our favorite fighters, and I think Kid Austin go do, you know, a damn good job. What I want to segue to, y'all. I want to segue to what happened last night. Now I don't know if y'all quite saw it like I saw it, but last night I saw something in that Blair Cobbs fight versus Mo Hooker. You know what I mean? We could start with Blair Cobbs, right? We can start with Blair Cobbs. No, we can start with Blair Cobbs. Blair Cobbs, before last night, right? Blair Cobbs was coming off his first career loss. He suffered his first career loss to Alexis Rocha. Alexis Rocha stopped Blair Cobbs in the 10th round, if I'm not mistaken. In the 10th round, you know, maybe the 9th round or something like that. The 10th round or maybe the 9th round or something like that. Did he stop Alex Rocha stopped Blur Cobb in his previous fight, but Blur Cobb had a fight last night. He made his ring return against Maurice Hooker. Yes, that Maurice Hooker from Texas, former 140-pound champion, Mo Hooker. You know what I mean? Bomac trained B&B fighter, Mo Hooker. Blur Cobbs had his comeback fight versus Mo Hooker last night, and to start with the positive, right? I'm gonna start on Blur Cobb. Start with the positive, and the positive was Blur Cobb. In this fight, I will say this: I picked Blur Cobb to win this fight going in, right? So him winning didn't too much surprise me, although it should have surprised a lot of people. It should have surprised people because not many people had Blur Cobb winning this fight. Vegas most definitely didn't have Blur Cobb winning this fight. You know what I mean? But I had Blur Cobb winning this fight against Mo Hooker. And even me, with me having Blur Cobb winning against Mo Hooker before the fight, y'all do your boy a favor. Y'all smash that like button for your boy when you roll on in. I got 17 people in the building. I got 14 likes. If y'all could, smash that like button. If you ain't, smash the like button because you do your boy a favor. Roll on out. Hit that thumbs up. Roll on back in. I know sometimes we forget. We get to moving too fast, you know what I mean? So if you could, y'all hold up, take that, pause for a second, smash that like button for your boy. Let me get in the chat. He said, I saw something too. Bo Mac don't know how to train. We gonna get to. I'm trying to let a couple more people get in the building, a couple more people get active at least, before we get into that Bo Mac thing and what I saw. But I am gonna hit on that. But right now, we're gonna talk about Cobb, Judah. Shout out to my guy Judah. Judah, you own it, Judah, because you own it. I was saying last night, I'm gonna kill Bo Mac in the morning, I'm gonna grill Bo back in the morning, and I am. You know what I mean? But I'm gonna let the people get up, just for a little second. You know what I mean? But Blur Cobb, I expected Blur Cobb to win last night, right? I expected Blur Cobb to win last night, type deal. But the way in which Blur Cobb won, I expected him to beat Mo Hooker. Now, Vegas didn't expect him to beat Mo Hooker, right? Because Blur Cobb was actually, a cooler underdog, sizable underdog. He was a comfortable enough underdog, to where I felt like it, right? I agree with it, right? But I also knew that Mo Hooker was coming off, a loss. Mo Hooker coming off a layoff type deal. So there was a chance that, and plus, Mo Hooker has made, a nice amount of money in this game. So Mo Hooker could be going through that part of his career where, he's just fighting for the checks right now. And he's not really, he doesn't really have his all into the game. So it's a rough spot, you know what I mean, to be if you're a guy like Mo Hooker. But in the beginning, when the news first broke, I had Mo Hooker, losing this fight to Blur Cobb. But in the actual fight, Blur Cobb, he actually, he did pretty damn good. I think it had a lot to do with Mo Hooker not being prepared. I don't think that was the best Mo Hooker, that we could have seen. And I know that wasn't prime Mo Hooker at all, right? But I don't think that was even the best Mo Hooker that we could have seen, at that time. I don't even think that's the best Hooker that we could have seen at that time. To tell you the truth, he missed weight. He came in 4 pounds heavy, 3 or 4 pounds overweight. Did Mo Hooker come in there and he came in 3 or 4 pounds heavy. You know what I mean? He looked fat in the ring. He looked like his legs was gone. It's like he couldn't find his balance early. Mo Hooker got knocked down about 3 times in the first 2 rounds. You know what I mean? He looked bad, y'all. He looked bad. It looked bad. It looked like he didn't even try, to he didn't even try to train for this camp. Like he got right out the bed and came here and, came to the fight and he fought. He got put down 3 times by Mo Hooker in the first 2 rounds, man. That's extremely alarming. I don't think Blur Cobb has put anybody down 3 times in the first 2 rounds. You know what I mean? So for you to be out here getting, ragged by Blur Cobbs, I think that's a sign for Mo Hooker. He either need to look in the mirror, fine-tune his game, fine-tune his training regimens, and, find his real weight class, find where he's comfortable at, get back to what he used to be. You know what I mean? Or Mo Hooker should lay it down because if Blur Cobb is able to do that to you, another boxer is going to destroy you. You know what I mean? Judy Bean said I had Mo beating Cobbs. Possible stoppage, just knew Mo was ready. I was wrong. Blur Cobbs get all the respect from me. Sudden T. He showed he's a dog and he boxed smart in the later rounds. Shout out my guy Judy Bean. My guy Just Do said Bo Mack and average training. I'm walking y'all down there. I'm walking y'all down there. He said Bo Mack or Reynoso. I'm walking y'all down the line, man. I'm walking y'all down the line. He said he built like a bowl of spaghetti. Right, facts. He said Bo Mack. She said Bo Mack is not a good trainer. Right. I'm walking y'all down there. Like we finna get to. Let me find my blunt up. But Blur Cobb, I clip her. My bad, y'all. But yeah, uh, I was impressed. I was impressed with Blur Cobb last night. My question that I'm asking right now is right. A question that I'm asking that I'm posing to y'all right now is Blur Cobb is Blur Cobb does Blur Cobb have a future? You know what I mean? Blur Cobb, says a lot. Blur Cobb, gets a bad rep, or deservedly so. You know what I mean? Because he says a lot. I think with Blur Cobb, if he learned how to close his mouth a little bit, I think people will take to him better. I don't think Blur Cobb is as bad as we think. Also don't think Blur Cobb is as good as he thinks. Shout out my Ty Swindle said no. Shout out my guy Ty Swindle. Ty, can you do your boy a favor? Can you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel? Greatly appreciate it. Dead Game Boxing was good. Appreciate you starting through this John Dead Game. Dead Game said yes, he has a future. He's a boxer. He has good endurance and he could talk. Shout out my guy Dead Game Boxing. Appreciate you sliding through this John Dead Game Boxing. If y'all could, if y'all in the room and y'all ain't smashed that like button, if y'all can do your boy a favor, if y'all can smash that like button, greatly appreciate you. Omar Hamilton said yes, he has a future. Okay, so y'all think Blur got a future? So y'all think Blur got a future in boxing? Okay, my next question to y'all is how far could Blur Cobb go in his future based off his last fight? How far do y'all think Blur Cobb could go based off his last fight? I tell you this, based off his last fight, I think Blur Cobb before his fight last night and after his fight last night, I came from that fight thinking more of Blur Cobb than I did before that fight. Tell you the truth, when Blur Cobb fought Alexis Rocha, you know what I mean? Of course, I picked Blur Cobb to lose. I won money off Blur Cobb losing, right? But when Blur Cobb fought Alexis Rocha, I expected Blur Cobb to do a lot worse than what he did. I expected Alexis Rocha to go in there and dominate him, knock him out early. You know what I mean? But Blur Cobb made that a fight with Alexis Rocha. He even almost, maybe won that jump early. He made it a difficult fight to score. You know what I mean? So I left. True enough, I left away from that fight impressed with Blur Cobb. True enough, even in the loss. You know what I mean? So he came into this fight with Mo Hooker. I expected, I expected Blur Cobb to win. The odds were against Blur Cobb, but I expected him to win. But he also won this fight in more impressive fashion than I thought he would. If we talking about expectation, right? If we talking about expectation, I think Blur Cobbs has exceeded our expectations as far as performance wise in his last two fights. If we talking strictly performance wise, for me personally, I think Blur Cobb has exceeded expectation. In those last two fights, he came out and he got 3 knockdowns early versus Mo Hooker. Would have never thought that. You know what I mean? My guy Todd Swiller said undercard. Blur is, Mo is washed. Yeah, I agree with you. I don't think Blur Cobb's gonna be headlining any shows, no shit like that. So we got Omar said he has a future. Dead Gang says he has a future. Todd Swindle said, nah, he don't. My girl Shay Girl said he has a future, just not against top tier 147 pounders. Okay. My guy Judah said, based off the fight last night to me, Blur got a good 7-8 years in the sport. He only 32, maybe 6 at least. Facts. You know what? With this one, what Blur Cobb just did last night, the undercard hooker was washed. That the average boxer stretch is about 40 years old. Judah, based off what Blur Cobb did last night, I think what Blur Cobb did was, I think Blur Cobb put himself into position to be a legitimate, right? I think he put himself in a position to be a legitimate gatekeeper. Now, that's not disrespect to Blur Cobb. Understand what I'm trying to say when I say this. Appreciate you sliding through this jump. My guy EL Will, 85. EL Will. Jelly Bean said, I'm on the fence. You on the fence about Blur? How y'all feel about Blur? We're talking about Blur Cobb right now. How y'all feel about Blur and his future and what he showed? Me personally, I feel like Blur overperformed to me in his last two fights. I thought Rocha was going to clean him out. He gave Rocha a fight. I knew he was going to beat Mo Hooker. Thought it would be a closer fight. He cleaned out Mo Hooker. I think Blur Cobb could be a legit gatekeeper. I think if you come in your game, I think if you come in there not prepared or not ready, Blur Cobb is in a position where some of those young guys can be beaten by Blur Cobb. He's also in a position where one of those older guys may want to give him, that mandatory title shot. You know what I mean? If he could keep, this up, depending on who he fight next and the result of that fight, I believe Blur Cobb got a real chance to be a dangerous gatekeeper. You know what I mean? Because he boxes well. He boxes good enough. He makes it hard for you to hit him repetitively. He boxes good enough. He uses his jab good enough to where it's going to be hard for you to land on him and hard for you to land on him, clean. Now, like my guy said, he does have his hand up, his head up extremely high, which is why I don't think he'll be able to beat any of the elites, because the elites probably would get him up out of there, like like Alexis Rocha did. You know what I mean? A lot of the elites probably would eventually find a way to get him up out of there. But if you're a prospect and you ain't ready, or one of them veterans who coming off a loss and who looking for maybe a nice comeback fight with a guy with some sort of a name, I think Blur Cobb has put himself into position to be that name for that up and comer, or to be that name that veteran guy fights to get himself back on track. You know what I mean? Blur Cobb. Yo, Memphis man was good. Will said really got to tighten up his defense. That nervous injury was hurting him, and learn to drop his shin. Anyone would have killed him if he come in like that. Yeah, he do get hit. He do have his head high. When he come in, he get hit a lot. The elite fighters, I think, will mess him up. Will fuck him up doing that. But I think Blur Cobb got another about 6 years on his career, and I think he could be, a serious gatekeeper. I think he could be a gatekeeper. They offer a young fella some problems, or a veteran. Give a veteran some work, get him back in the mix. And if you come in off your game, Blur Cobb, very well may be able to beat you. If he could catch you with some of those right hooks and you can't take him, he could put you down. He wasn't able to put Hooker down. You know what I mean? He wasn't able to put Rocha down. But he very well was able to wake both those guys up and make those guys work. You know what I mean? He made Rocha go into the high guard and started walking them down. And then Cobb couldn't figure out how to land on Rocha after he did that. Cobb isn't, a A-level boxer. He isn't just a boxing purist by no way, shape, or form. But he's a guy that can give you some problems if you come in off your game. Like Mo Hooker just showed you, if you come in off your game, he'll be able to beat you. Like Alex Roach, showed you, you're going to have to really go in there and you're going to have to fight Blair Cobbs because he's not going to lay down for you. You know what I mean? Due to being said, and I say 7-8 because he's not afraid to lose either. Yeah, facts. That game box, he said you can tell Blair put the work in the gym. Facts, that game. That man do work. He work hard. He work out. His body showed it. He be in excellent shape, and his stamina is top notch. So that man is in the gym, and that man is working. So I want to be the first or the second or the third or whatever. Just want to do my due diligence and say, man, shout out Blair Cobb because you could have did a lot worse, and you didn't. You actually did better than a lot of us, was expecting you to do. Type deal. So shout out Blair Cobb. I think Blair Cobb just made himself, in a gatekeeper. I think he made himself an elite gatekeeper. That's what I think he did. I think Blair Cobb made himself an elite gatekeeper. He gonna be a gatekeeper to the elite fighters, and he gonna be a gatekeeper to the prospects. So shout out Blair Cobb with the win over Mo Hooker. Mo Hooker. Think it may be time for Mo Hooker to lay it down. Now, unless Mo Hooker last night, if Mo Hooker could say, well, bro, I didn't train for that fight. I was unprepared. I didn't take it serious. I could come back my next fight and do way better. Then that I understand. But if Mo Hooker heart ain't in it, you know what I mean? If that was Mo Hooker's best effort last night, then Mo Hooker should probably lay it down because losing to Blair Cobb the way you lost to him, that was a bad look, Mo Hooker. And I know you better than that. A guy like Blair Cobb should not be able to do that to you. So I really think it's time for Mo Hooker to look himself in the mirror and ask himself, is this what he want to do going forward? Because if it is, Mo Hooker got to get right because he can't be out here, getting knocked down 3 times in the first 2 rounds by, average fighters. Shout out my guy, Mr. Shelton. Appreciate you sliding through this jump, Mr. Shelton. Can y'all do your boy a favor, whether you're here for a good time or a long time, whether it's your first time, could you do your boy a favor, not make it your last time, and smash that like button? Also, subscribe to the channel. If you're in here right now and you haven't smashed that like button, could you go on out, smash that thumbs up, come on in, drop us a comment. We talking about the fight. We're talking about the fights from this weekend. We giving our post-fight reaction. We hit on Kid Austin, a little bit earlier, up-and-coming prospect, 19 years old. Floyd Sheffield. It's when you look at it, it look like it's Schofield, but when they say Sheffield. So Floyd Schofield, Kid Austin talked about him, up-and-coming prospect. Now we talking about Blair Cobb and where we think Blair Cobb ranks at 140. And where we think his trajectory is. Like, does he have a future in boxing? Because there was a time when a lot of us thought, Blair was a joke. A lot of us still think Blair is a joke. But you know what I mean? Last night, he did beat a former champion. You know what I mean? So I feel like it's a conversation that needs to be had. You know what I mean? My guy, Yoda Wise, what's good, Yoda? TWT in the building. He said Mo Dunn getting waxed by corn on the cob. You know what I mean? Yeah, it looked bad. It looked bad, Mo. Like that wasn't just a regular loss. Like that loss did look, you know what I mean? Terrible. Appreciate you, Sheldon. He said like button smashed already. Shout out my guy, Mr. Sheldon. He said Kid Floyd Austin has an amazing story. Yeah, in fact, he do dig, guy. He do. He got an amazing future too. You know what I mean? I like Kid Austin. Like his guy. He remind me of a young Adrian Broner. Not young Adrian Broner but he actually do got a chance because he's young. He's still 19. He can accomplish a lot of the shit that Adrian Broner accomplished at the ages Adrian Broner accomplished. So he has a chance. He reminds me like of a young Adrian Broner. You know what I mean? They just got to mold him the right way, steer him the right way. Kid Austin gonna be a beast. He's a dead game. I said the same. He stays in good shape, has great confidence. He works on protecting that chin and some defense. I think he got 8 fights in him as a top 10 gatekeeper. And that's where I'm at here, Will. I think he most definitely could be, in the league gatekeeper. I can't think he could be a league gatekeeper, top 10 gatekeeper, Blair Cobb. I think he being set up in position, you know what I mean, for that now. Interested to see who they go place him in the ring with next. You know what I mean? But I ain't gonna lie, Blair Cobb became a real boxer last night. He became a real boxer last night. You know what I mean? Got to give him a little respect. Got to show him, some love. Give him his just due. Good job, Blair. Now we hit on Mo a little bit. Now let's talk about Mo. And you know what? Before we get outside of the ring with Mo, and where I think he needs to do, going forward, whatnot, and before we even talk about, what he should have done in the ring, because Mo gave up his height. Mo gave up his height as soon as the fight started. It's like Mo Hooker has an 80-inch reach for nothing. You know what I mean? He let much smaller guys close in on him. He just fights their fight. You know what I mean? He likes the inside fight like he got T-Rex arms or something like that. You know what I mean? But what I noticed last night is now Mo Hooker had been out of the sport for like a year or so, like a year and a half. You know what I mean? He been out of the sport for like a year and a half. Has Mo Hooker, he been rumored to fight. He was rumored to fight Conor Ben. He was rumored to fight he was rumored to fight a few people, rumored to fight Conor Ben. He was rumored to fight Regis Prograis. And then he ended up fighting, you know what I mean, Blair Cobb, right? Mo Hooker came in this fight so out of shape. I mean, like the worst shape I seen Mo Hooker in his life. It's like the first round, it's like Mo Hooker looked like he didn't even belong in the boxing ring. You would have never thought the guy that we saw, the guy in that first round you saw against Blair Cobbs, you would have never thought that Mo Hooker was a former champion. He looked like a fish out of water. He looked like a duck in the water. He looked like a chicken with his head cut off that first round. He wasn't stable at all. It was like he was standing still and he was still moving. It's like he had zero conditioning. He had zero fitness. He did zero training physically for that fight. It looked like his body was soft, didn't look strong at all. He looked weak in the ring, like he was easily pushed over. You know what I mean? Easily knocked down. Got knocked down once in the first, twice in the second. Like physically, from a physical standpoint, he just didn't look like a boxer. He didn't look comfortable in the ring. His legs didn't look stationary. And I blame that, you know what I mean, on the trainer. That had a lot to do with your training camp. The trainer didn't prepare him for that fight physically. And not only did he look bad physically in the ring, right? He looked weak. He looked out of place. He looked like Bambi almost early in that fight. You know what I mean? And he started to get it together. And I'm going to speak on that. I don't want to get too far ahead. You know what I mean? But he looked bad physically in that fight, unprepared physically in that fight. Not only did he look unprepared physically in that fight, he looked unprepared tactically in that fight. You know what I mean? His game plan looked like it almost wasn't there. His game plan looked like, a freestyle MMA fight. You know what I mean? What was his game plan? With you having the 80-inch arm reach, with you having about 4 inches on your opponent last night, Mo, you should have used your jab. You know what I'm saying? You should have stayed behind a stick and you should have kept Blair Cobb at distance. Blair Cobb likes to fight on the outside anyway. There were times where Mo Hooker, was just standing in front of Blair Cobb, and Blair Cobb was just standing in front of him. And then Blair Cobb would fire off a hard right hand or a hard left hand. He would catch Mo Hooker. Mo Hooker looked real slow. He looked out of shape. He looked out of place, and he looked like he was lost tactically in the ring. It's like you got an 80-inch arm reach. You never go through a jab. He never threw any right straights. It's like he couldn't even land on Blair Cobbs. You know what I mean? His body work was null and void. You know what I mean? He just didn't look like a boxer. It's like he spent 95% of that fight waiting on Blair Cobb, looking at Blair Cobb to fire before, he was fired. He was counterpunching the guy with a much shorter arm reach, and he was counterpunching the guy who historically you are the better boxer. You know what I mean? So he was letting Blair Cobb be first. And I think that played a lot in him, being unprepared. He looked slow because I think he was unprepared. I don't think he looked slow because, he's that washed up. I think he looked washed up because he wasn't trained physically for that fight, right? And he didn't have the right game plan going inside of that fight. Right. I don't think he I don't think he was physically ready for that fight. And I don't think he was tactically ready for that fight. And also, I think another one of his problems was, and that's a training issue as well. But you know what I mean? I'm getting to a point. I don't think he was physically ready. He looked weak. His legs looked weak. He looked off balance. He got knocked down twice. He got knocked down 3 times in the first 2 rounds. So they let you know that he wasn't physically ready. You know what I mean? Um, he looked tactically unprepared as well. Like his game plan, he didn't fire off his jab. He didn't put his combinations together. You know what I mean? He didn't get out of the way of Blair Cobb's punches. There was times where Blair Cobb was firing off these counter right hands, not even counter right hands. They looked like counter right hands because they both were just looking at each other. And then Blair Cobb would fire off a right hand real quick. Boom. He was striking Mo Hook ass. Mo Hooker couldn't even get out of the way of that. It's like he was falling into the same traps. Mo Hooker wasn't cutting the ring off on Blair Cobb either. Like his tactical plan was all wrong. His tactical plan was worse than his physical conditioning in that fight. Both I blame on the trainer. You know what I mean? So he wasn't physically prepared. He wasn't tactically prepared, and also his trainer was incapable of making adjustments on the fly. Mo Hooker was let down in this fight in every way possible. First, he let himself down because he didn't get himself into shape, right? And also his trainer let him down because his trainer didn't get him into shape, nor did his trainer prepare him for the boxing match inside of that fight, for the technical boxing match inside of that fight. Skywalker, what's good, Tim? Appreciate you sliding through this jut. TWT in the building. What's good, Skywalker? Appreciate you sliding through. So he let himself down by not getting himself ready. His corner let him down by not getting himself ready, because that's why you hire a trainer. That's what you pay the corner for, to make sure you're ready for your fight, to have you on your game. It's the same correlation as a personal trainer. You don't pay a personal trainer to sit and let you do what you want. You pay a personal trainer to whip you up into shape, to push you when you don't want to do what you want. That's the same thing as a boxing trainer. You pay that trainer to push you and whip you into shape. You know what I mean? So he let himself down, true enough, but also the guy that he was paying let him down as well, because he didn't get him ready physically or tactically. And not only did he not get him ready physically or tactically, he couldn't make the adjustments in the corner to get him right. Now, let's check this out, y'all. Check this out for me. Check this out for me. At the end of the first round, Judah Bean said, "Did you hear what Bomac was telling Mo Hooker in the corner? Don't let that motherfucker hit you." Yeah, facts. Now look, now check me out. This was the end of the first round of this fight. Right now, I've heard trainers tell fighters, to get a kick out of their fighter, to get a rounds out of their fighter, when their fighter is, down on the card. Not They might not even have to be down on the card. You know what I mean? But they could just be in a tough fight, and you feel like they need to give you a little more so they could edge the decision, right? So it was the end of the first round where Mo Hooker was dropped by Blair Cobb once. Mo Hooker was dropped by Blair Cobb once at the end of the first round, right? Mo Hooker went to his corner, right? And instead of Bomac telling Mo Hooker, "Hey Mo, you gotta throw your jab a little more. You gotta get your head off the line. You gotta cut the ring off and not follow him around the ring. You gotta be first, Mo. You can't be second. You letting them get off on you. You know what I mean? Come on, let's tighten up." Instead of Bomac telling him something like that, Bomac told that man, what my guy Judah Ben just said. He told that man, don't let that motherfucker hit you. You got to hit that motherfucker. He said, at some point, you got to fight this guy. That boxing ain't going to work. Now, hold on, y'all. Now, I want y'all to listen to what I said. This is the end of the first round. Bomac told that man, don't let that motherfucker hit you. You got to hit him. That boxing stuff ain't going to work. At some point, you're going to have to fight him. Bro, it's round one, and you already throwing away the game plan? This fat bastard Bo Mac don't even have the decency to stand in your corner properly. This man be in your corner leaning on the rope, damn about to tip the fucking ring over to one side, and he be giving out the worst. He gave out the worst fucking information that I ever heard a trainer give out to Mo Hooker. You told that man to abandon the game plan at the end of the first round. That boxing shit ain't gonna work. You gotta fight this motherfucker. You said hit him. You said stop letting him hit you, and you need to hit him. What kind of information is that? As a trainer, you supposed to put your fighter into a position to win. You didn't tell that man shit about positioning. You ain't tell him what to do to counter what Blur Cobb was doing. You ain't tell him what to do to get his offense going. All you told that man to go in there and do was fight. You told him to stop boxing and go in there and fight after one round of fight. So you threw away the whole fucking game plan after one round, which lets me know that you never really had a game plan to begin with, because no trainer throws away a game plan they've been working on for months or weeks after the first fucking round of a fight. You're not going to do it. You're just not going to do it. So that further lets me know that you didn't even have a game plan going into that fight. Mo Hooker lost that fight because he wasn't prepared properly. He wasn't prepared the right way. I don't think Mo Hooker is done. I think Mo Hooker needs to have a fight where he get a real trainer in a real training camp and try it again and see how he look. You know what I mean? But Bo Mac, and look, I'm going somewhere with this. That was the end of the first round. But Mo Hooker went into the second round, right? And Mo Hooker got dropped again. Not only did he get dropped once in the second round, he got dropped twice in the second round. So he got dropped once, sticking to the game plan in the first round, and then he went out the second round and he got dropped twice, switching to your plan B, which was to go in there and just fight him. He ended up getting dropped twice because of that. You know what I mean? He ended up getting dropped twice because of that. Art Man was good, Art Man. Appreciate you sliding through this jump, Art. Glad you can make it. Shout out my guy Art Man. Y'all do your boy a favor. Y'all go subscribe to my guy Art Man YouTube. You know what I mean? My guy Art Man in the building. I'm about to get you I'm about to get you up. I'm about to get you up on this thing, Art Man. Glad you can make it, Rody. Glad you can make it. Glad you slide through. But yeah, so not only did he get knocked down, once in the first round with your original game plan, the game plan that you told him to go to the second time, he got knocked down twice. And now this shit is so bad. Listen to what I'm saying, y'all. Mo Hooker never had a chance to win that fight last night. Mo Hooker never had a chance in that fight. He never stood a chance. From before the fight was even happened, Mo Hooker never had a chance because he was ill prepared. It gets worse. So not only did you not train him physically for the fight to have him physically ready for a fight in the ring, you didn't give him the right technical plan to start the fight, which got him dropped in the first round. Thirdly, you didn't make the right adjustment after he had dropped in the first round with the original plan, and you got him dropped again in the second round twice. So we didn't already started. If this was a baseball game, this would be a 3-0 start. So we didn't already started 3-0, right? Now you have your fighter, Bud Crawford. You have your fighter. Y'all do your boy a favor. Y'all smash that like button for your boy, whether you're for a good time or a long time. If you could, smash that like button for your boy. If it's your first time, if you could not make it your last time, subscribe to the channel as well and hit that bell icon. 18 people in the building. I need everybody to smash that like button. Greatly appreciate it. Now, it gets worse. You had to have your people, your student, Bud Crawford, come in the ring and instruct a fighter who you have been training for weeks on months. You had to have Bud Crawford come in the ring, take over instruction for Mo Hooker. And guess what? It worked. Mo Hooker did significantly better. Mo Hooker did significantly better after Bud said whatever he said to him. He didn't get knocked down no more. He stopped getting hit as much. He even started beating on Blur Cobbs a little bit. So whatever Bud Crawford told Mo Hooker or was telling Mo Hooker, that shit worked. That shit worked. Bo Mac, dog. Now I want to run y'all back down the line. You had the wrong. You didn't train Mo Hooker physically. You didn't physically get him ready for this fight, and it showed in the fight. He didn't. He wasn't physically ready. He wasn't tactically ready because he got knocked down in the first round. You didn't make the adjustment after the first round because the adjustment you made got him knocked down 2 more times, and you had to have another boxer, another one of your own boxers. You had to have another one of your pupils come in the ring and tell him whatever the fuck that he told him to get that man head in the game and to get him right to even make it through the 12 rounds. You couldn't even get your fighter the adjustment, and bad enough, you had to have a fighter come in and give your current fighter the correct adjustment for him to even survive in that fight. It sounded like to me that maybe Mo Hooker would have been better off with Bud in the fucking corner from the beginning. Maybe Bud should have led the fucking training camp months ago. Maybe Mo Hooker would have been in shape physically because Bud is always in shape. So maybe Mo Hooker should have been training every day with fucking Bud. And maybe Bud should have been in this, and maybe he would have been, better prepared physically. And maybe Bud should have gave him the fucking game plan because when Bud gave him the game plan, or whatever the fuck Bud told him, he ain't getting knocked down no more. He got knocked down 3 times in 2 rounds under your watch, Bomac. He got knocked down 0 times under Bud under Bud watch. You know what I mean? So my question is now what I'm saying is Mo Hooker never stood a chance to win that fight. He never stood a chance to win that fight because his trainer never gave him the proper chance to win that fight. It was all bad. You know what I mean? From the beginning, he said, worst thing a trainer can do is tell the fighter, let your hands go. Bruh, come on, bro, because that ain't saying nothing. That ain't saying nothing. They just telling you to go throw punches. He said Mo came in big like Bomac. Fact, that was training side by side. You could tell that Mo Hook and Bomac was training side by side because they both was fat as hell. They both was at Krispy Kreme and Mickey D's and Wendy's and all that shit ordering the same food. You know what I mean? What he should have did was let Bud motherfucking take over that count. What it's looking like to me is, right, because outside of Terrence Crawford, Bomac can't get no fucking wins. He can sneak some wins with Keyshawn Davis and Keyshawn Davis' brother and shit. But outside of Bud Crawford, Bomac is not consistently getting wins. Bomac is not consistently out here, pushing good fighters out. A lot of Bomac fighters get their ass skull drugged, not named Terrence Crawford. And I feel like Bomac as a trainer last night was exposed. He said Bomac looking like Reynoso out there. Facts. And the thing is, at least Reynoso, whether it's the juice or whatever, at least Reynoso have his fighters in somewhat good physical condition. Man, Mo Hooker wasn't even in good physical condition leading up into that fight, which is why he looked how he looked in that fight. Mo Hooker looked a lot better with Bud training him than he did Bomac. What is Bomac there for? What is Bomac doing? You know what I mean? Bomac is entering the realm of overrated. He's tiptoeing the fine line of between overrated and being a good trainer, man. Because I'm feeling like my guy Todd just said, I'm finna get to it, Todd. He said while Mo was lifting 25-pound on weight, Mo was lifting a 5-pound snicker, Sherman Clump. Man, Mo wasn't lifting 25s, Mo was lifting motherfucking 10s or 15s or something. Because Mo ain't put in no work. And Bomac was right there leading the charge, watching him not put in no work. My guy Todd said it. He just said it. Bud wins despite Bomac, not because of facts. You know what I mean? And it's starting to look like Bomac is just a product of Bud Crawford. I think all these years, we've been thinking, Bomac is this good trainer. You know what I mean? And I think it's been Bud Crawford being that great talent that's been carrying Bomac because his other fighters don't do well. Didn't do well last night. He didn't come in that fight physically ready. You've been out this long and you still came in out of shape. What was you doing the whole time that you wasn't fighting? And yes, it's Mo Hooker's fault, right? But it's also the trainer's fault. The trainer is there to whip you into shape, and he did no whipping. into shape with Mo Hooker. They did a lot of whipped cream eating. They did a lot of cookies and candies and shit. You know what I mean? Ice creams and shit. That's what it looked like they did. Mo Hooker wasn't ready physically. Mo Hooker wasn't ready tactically. And that's the trainer's fault. It's your fault too as well, Mo, but it's the trainer's fault because he's there to get you ready physically and ready tactically, right? That's his job. The trainer couldn't make adjustments on him. You had to have an outside fighter come in the ring. You had to have Bud Crawford come in the ring, and Bud Crawford actually put him in better position than you did. He did better under the tutelage of Bud Crawford than you did, Bo Mac. Bo Mac is, Bo Mac overrated, man. Bo Mac is one of the most overrated fighters in the game right now. I think he living off of Bud Crawford. I think he trying to snake Keyshawn Davis so he could live off Keyshawn Davis, so he could masquerade around as if he's a good trainer and whatnot. But I think Bo Mac is overrated. I don't think he helped Mo Hooker out at all in that fight. I think Bud helped out Mo Hooker tremendously more than Bo Mac did in that fight, and Bo Mac is the paid trainer. Bud Crawford should have got a portion of Bo Mac's check last night. Mo Hooker paid Bo Mac all that fucking money to train him, and he got in the ring, and Bo Mac couldn't even train him. Bud Crawford had to step his ass up on that ring and train Mo Hooker in that fight, and he probably saved his life because when Bo Mac was training him, Mo Hooker ass had hit the dirt 3 fucking times. When Bud got in there, he ain't hit the dirt no more times. So I'm gonna say that I'm giving Bud Crawford the credit for that motherfucking training last night. You know what? I'm giving Bo Mac the credit for the loss on Mo Hooker record, and I'm giving Bud a winner credit. I'm giving Bud a win in his coaching corner debut because that's what the fuck that was last night. Shout out to Bud Crawford. Shout out to Bud Crawford on his coaching corner debut. You did a damn good job. You showed your ass, Bud. Shout out Bud on the magnificent coaching job in the corner, Bud. Maybe if you had that fighter from the beginning of the camp, maybe you would have won that fight, Bud. Mo Hooker and Blair Cobbs should run it back. They should let Bud be the fucking trainer, and they should see what happens. Let's just take Bo Mac out the equation. Let's see what's up. Because I'm blaming Bo Mac. Derek Adams, what's good? Appreciate you sliding through this, John Derek. Glad you can make it. Shout out my UK brother, Derek. He said big love from the UK brother. Shout out my guy, Derek Adams. What's good, Derek? Glad you could make it, pimp. We ain't here talking about the fights last night. We ain't got into Virgil Ortiz yet, and I did that on purpose. We ain't got into Virgil Ortiz. I did that on purpose. I want to talk about Kid Austin. I want to talk about Mo Hooker. And I want to talk about Bo Mac ass. You know what I mean? I ain't got into Virgil on purpose. We got to get into Virgil in a minute. He said it's plain to see now that Bo Mac is just a promise from Bud that he'll take care of him once he went pro. You know what I mean? That's basically what it's looking like. You feel me? Judah Ben. Them facts, Brody. You're being exposed. Bud Crawford knows more about boxing than Bo Mac. I'm starting to believe that Bud Crawford is the one that's been training all these guys. That's why you got Bud Crawford in the ring sparring with everybody, right? I'm starting to believe that Bud Crawford is the one training all these guys. You know what I mean? And Bo Mac just there as a figurehead. Only thing I think Bo Mac did, I don't think I think Bo Mac did was fuck up Bud Crawford. The only thing I think Bo Mac did was advise motherfucking Terrence Crawford to sign with Daniel Killihan with his dumb ass because Daniel Killihan paid off Bo Mac. And that's Southern T saying that. I think Bob Aaron paid off Bo Mac. That's why he's still over there. He got all them top ranked fighters. Bo Mac basically works for top rank and Bud Crawford. How can you work for top rank and Bud Crawford? That don't make sense. If Bud Crawford is not top rank, Bud Crawford is suing top rank. How fuck Bud manager go work for top rank? You know what I mean? You got a plethora of top ranked fighters. You know what I mean? Bo Mac interest is Bo Mac. Bo Mac interest is not Bud Crawford or them fighters. Bo Mac interest is keeping Bo Mac fed and fat and with all that food and shit on his table, keeping his clothes at 7 and 8 inches and shit like that. There's Bo Mac priority. Bo Mac can talk that slick shit and that slick game, but that shit can only take you so far. And now we seen exactly how far I could take you. Boy, you are not a gym coach. You can't make no adjustments. You can't see shit. How have you been around the game that long and you can't even finesse yourself to sound like a good coach? You can't even finesse yourself to sound like a good coach. You know what I mean? Whatever Bud told him, Bud came there, he told that man something. And that man didn't get knocked down again, and he looked better than he ever looked in that fight. You know what I mean? You almost got that man killed today. You told that man to cut that boxing shit out and go in there and fight him. You told him that boxing shit ain't gonna work. Go in there and fight him. You gotta let your hands go, bro. It was the second round. Your game plan didn't make it past. Don't make your game pass. Your game plan didn't make it out of the first round because your fighter got knocked down once, and you told him to abort it after the first round. So you was ready to abort that motherfucker as soon as you did it. How, Slay? How? Mo Hooker lost that fight. Mo Hooker lost that fight, and largely in part due to Bomac. And I'm blaming Bomac. Bomac didn't get him ready physically, or he didn't give him the right game plan, nor did he make the right adjustments. Bomac is what I call Bomac is a leech. He a leech and he a moocher. He leeching off Bud Crawford's name. He leeching off, mooching off Bud Crawford's fame. You know what I mean? If you take away Bomac, right? Let's Brian McIntyre, right? Let's take away Bud Crawford from Brian McIntyre. Let's take away Bud from Bomac, right? Bud and Bomac and Bud, right? Let's take away Bud from Bomac. If you take away Bud from Bomac, will Bud still be where he at? If you take away Bud from Bomac, will Bud still be a championship level boxer? If you take away Bomac from Bud, will Bomac still be a championship level trainer? I want y'all to answer that question. Serious question. If you take away Bud from Bomac, is Bomac a championship level trainer? If you take away Bud from Bomac, is Bud a championship level fighter? My answer to that question would be Bud will still be a championship level fighter. Bomac most definitely won't be training any championship level fighters because his sorry ass would have never got in the room. Bud was just the exception. Now you could say maybe Bomac helped Bud and like maybe he steered his career a certain way. You know, maybe he did some good matchmaking. You know what I mean? Maybe you could say that. That's about the only way, you know, you could twist it type deal. But as far as what actually happened inside of the ring, Bud could have reached this pinnacle. Bud could have reached the championship. Bud could have reached a title fight with anybody. It's gonna be high hell and high water before Bomac ever build a guy up from the basement and get him to a championship again. And he would not be building Keyshawn Davis up from the basement because Keyshawn Davis was already established, ranked very, very, very highly in the amateurs before he ever met Bomac. You know what I mean? So that one won't count. That's how you know if you're a good trainer. When you could bring guys, when you could build a champion from the ground up, and also when you can create a champion, when you could bring a former champion, you know, back to glory, or an old fighter back to glory, or an old fighter that wasn't a champion but they couldn't get over the hump. When you could take them and you could get them over the hump. That's what makes you a good fighter. What Bomac does is when his fighters lose, he throw them away. He don't even deal with them no more. He told Jamel Herring he might as well, you know, go find somebody else. So basically what they're telling me is that as long as Jamel Herring was a champion, he was cool with it. But once he lost, you know, you wanted us to do it. You know, when his champions lose, he tell them to go find other stuff to do. You know what I mean? That's not a winner. You know what I mean? That's not the signs of a good coach. Mo Hooker in that fight, he lost that fight largely in part due to his trainer or lack of a trainer. You know what I mean? Big Dog Willie was good. Appreciate you sliding through this jump, Big Dog. Glad you made that. He brocking him from Top Guys and his dad. What's good, Big Dog? Appreciate you sliding through this jump. Glad you can make it. TWT in the building. Appreciate you sliding through this jump, Big Dog. Glad you can make it. Y'all do your boy a favor. Y'all smash that like button for your boy when you roll on in, whether you're here for a good time or a long time. If y'all could, do your boy a solid. Smash that like button for your boy as you roll on in. We're here having a boxing conversation about what happened last night. We talked a little bit about Kid Austin. You know what I mean? His performance and where I think he's going. type deal. We talked about goddamn Blur Cop. You know what I mean? What we think about Blur the Flair type deal where he going. I think Blur the Flair is an elite gatekeeper. You know what I mean? At this point, I think he could be an elite gatekeeper. I think he earned that. You know what I mean? Type deal. We talked about Blur the Flair. Now we talking about then we talked about Mo Hooker. You know what I mean? And on why I think he lost that fight. You know what I mean? And his future in boxing type deal. Basically was saying that I think he lost that fight because he was unprepared. And I said, he looked bad, that performance looked bad, but I ain't gonna necessarily say that he got to retire because I think due into large part he looked so bad because of the trainer that he was training with, you know what I mean, for this fight. I think, he let himself down, true enough, right? But I think his trainer let him down because he wasn't physically or tactically prepared for this fight, nor could his trainer make the correct adjustments in the fight. He had to have his secondary trainer come in the ring and, make some adjustments, which got him through the fight and to survive. But his game plan going into it was all bad, and he couldn't adjust in it. He got bad information from his head trainer, and the secondary trainer, had to come in and get him right. God Body, what's good, God Body? Appreciate you sliding through this junk, God Body. Glad you can make it. Y'all do your boy a favor. Y'all smash that like button for your boy as you roll on in, whether you're here for a good time or a long time. Y'all do your boy a favor. Y'all smash that like button for your boy. We in this thing talking about, the fights last night. We talked about Mo, and now I segued that into Bomac. You know what I mean? I think largely due to the part. I think he lost that fight largely due to the training, leading up to that. I think you only get knocked down twice in the first 2 rounds is if you're not. You only get knocked down twice in the first 2 rounds if you're not prepared for a fight. Don't think that he was prepared physically. Don't think he was prepared physically or tactically for that fight. I think his trainer was I think his trainer was I think his trainer was in over his head, you know what I mean, as well. I think the trainer was in over his head as well. Mo 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 didn't give himself a good chance. Mo didn't give himself a good chance in that fight because I think he picked the wrong trainer. You could just look at Mo in that fight and tell that it was all wrong from the beginning. You know what I mean? I think that fight last night said more about Bomac and him being the trainer than it did about Mo Hooker. I think Mo Hooker need to get him like he. I don't think he done. I think he got another chance to prove. I think he need to get a different trainer and have a real training camp. And if you still look that bad, then he should retire because you losing to Blur Cobb like that, it ain't many people you could beat at 147. DOG 215, what's good? Appreciate you sliding through this, John. DOG, glad you could make it. Y'all do your boy a favor. Y'all smash that like button for your boy when you roll on in. I'm about to get into the Virgil Ortiz portion. You know what I mean? Or the fight breakdown and prediction. We've been here an hour and 11. Again, I ain't gonna hold y'all too long. I'm gonna either do another 50 minutes or another 20 minutes. You know what I mean? Depending on how it go in here. You know what I mean? But we about to get into the Virgil Ortiz part of it. You know what I mean? This gonna be the last one. The main event of the weekend. The main attraction of the weekend was Virgil Ortiz versus Mike McKinson. Mike McKinson. This originally was supposed to be Virgil Ortiz. Virgil Ortiz versus David Evanesian, which is what I was excited for. I was a little dejected, you know what I mean, when I found out that Evanesian, wouldn't be fighting Virgil Ortiz. Evanesian had to pull out for whatever reason. You know what I mean? So I was a little disappointed by that, but I still watched the fight this weekend, and I must say that I'm glad that I did. Virgil Ortiz, the maturation of Virgil Ortiz, right? I could see, I could see the improvement of Virgil Ortiz. Virgil Ortiz, he's getting his head off the line. You know what I mean? More. Largely due to that, he's using the high guard a lot too. So that is a way of people getting their head out the line, because a lot of people, don't think that. They think, you throw the high guard up. A lot of people are doing the high guard wrong. They'll throw it up, put it on their face and shit. And then some boxers I punch their arms and punch through their high guard, right? A high guard is not supposed to touch your actual face. It's supposed to block your face. Virgil Ortiz uses a high guard, you know what I mean? Kind of like Earl Spence and Winky Wright a little bit, where they have a high guard, but they could see through it. You know what I mean? It may be a tight high guard. It may be a open high guard, depending on what they're trying to do at the moment. You know what I mean? Virgil Ortiz used that tight high guard beautifully last night, to walk his opponent down. But he was also moving his head off the line behind the high guard. He added a dimension to his high guard. He normally used, a tight high guard. He just walked you straight down. But this fight, he was using the tight high guard and the open high guard. The open high guard is used to counter off your high guard. You could counter off your tight high guard too with straights and jabs. The open high guard is used to counter with hooks. You know what I mean? So he used the closed high guard and he used the open high guard, you know what I mean, last night, and he used it well. He showed good head movement behind his open high guard too. You know what I mean? You don't have to have as much head movement with a tight high guard, but with your open head guard, you still gonna have to implement head movement with it. And he did, you know what I mean? Just that. He showed me patience last night, did Virgil Ortiz against McKenna. A lot of people would have thought, right, McKenna was, maybe the better boxer. You know what I mean? Maybe the more seasoned boxer, if anything, right? Going into that, the more proven boxer, the more seasoned boxer, right? A lot of people would have gave McKenna the eggs in boxing over Virgil, but Virgil outboxed McKenna, and he wore him down, with his pressure and work rate. Virgil Ortiz has educated pressure. In the past, it got him in trouble a little bit, got him dropped or get him hit a lot, but he cleaned that up. Yesterday he didn't get hit too much. He didn't get hit with too much shit where I was worried about him, at all. Virgil Ortiz, he showed better foot movement in that fight as well. He was cutting the ring off a little bit. He could do a better job, with not getting turned, with not letting the people suck him into the corner. Because he got turned, sometimes, and then left him swinging. But outside of that, Virgil Ortiz, he looked damn good. Don't have much to critique Virgil about in his fight with McKenzie. He did everything he was supposed to do until McKenzie. You know what I mean? Shout out Virgil Ortiz for the win. I hope that they could get that David Evanesian fight, done down the line type deal. I think that'll be a good one. Now, but let's talk about Virgil Ortiz's future. You know what I mean? Let's talk about Virgil Ortiz's future, at 147. After his win last night, where do we rank Virgil Ortiz at 147? Before last night, right? I had Virgil Ortiz ranked, in the top 10 easily. Wait, let me go put my phone on. Let me go put my laptop on the charger before my shit died. MP, what the fuck? What's good, MP? Appreciate you sliding through these junk. My guy, MP, what the fuck? TWT in the building. Glad you could make it, pimp. Appreciate you sliding through this joint. MP. We in here talking about the weekend fight. The weekend fights, giving our reaction to the fights this weekend. I led the show We spoke on Kid Austin. You know how he looked in his performance. I think Kid Austin, has a bright future. You know what I mean? At the 135-pound division. Uh, Young kid, 19 years old. I think he got a high ceiling. He remind me of a young Adrian Broner. Does Kid Austin. We talked about Blair Cobb. You know what I mean? We spoke on Blair Cobb and where he at. You know what I mean? In boxing right now. I think Blair Cobb set himself up last night, to be an elite level gatekeeper, a top 10 gatekeeper. He could get a guy into the top 10. He could keep a guy out of the top 10. If you got that prospect, that you're looking to get a test, Blair Cobb can be that. If you got that veteran fighter, who trying to get, a little name under his belt, trying to get a little buzz going, in comeback fight or something like that, when he come out for loss, Blair Cobb put himself into that situation. Maybe Blair Cobb put himself in a situation if one of those champions, want to, give him a title shot, give him a little mandatory shot, a little voluntary shot. Maybe he put himself into that last night, but I think Blair Cobb, is, I now, consider him a real boxer. I think he is a real, boxer, not a world beater at all. But legit, competition. And then we talked about Mo Hooker in his fight last night. Mo Hooker didn't look too bad, but I think that was largely in part due to his preparation to the fight, and also his corner didn't make the proper adjustments in the fight. So we talked about Mo and how bad he looked, but I think Mo looked bad mostly in part because his trainer, let him down. He paid a trainer to get him in shape, and he paid a trainer, to give him a good game plan for victory, and his trainer didn't do either. You know what I mean? So we talked about Mo, and we talked about Bomac, being overrated. I think Bud Crawford pretty much is carrying Bomac, has carried Bomac this far, which is why he don't have many high level, clients outside of, Bud Crawford type deal. But I don't think Mo Hook is done. I think he probably needs to change his trainer. Have a real training camp and then come back and try it again and see type deal. But now we talking about Virgil Ortiz. I gave him his credit, his just due for what he did last night. He outboxed the boxer and he eventually put him out of there as he was supposed to do. I like where I like the maturation of Virgil Ortiz. I like where he going. Type deal. It's now, matter of fact, fuck it, make Virgil Ortiz versus Blair Cobb. It's now we getting to the time, where we gotta start having these guys at 147, take on each other. I don't think anybody outside of the top five, will be able to beat Virgil, right off the head. I think he could compete with the top. I know he could compete with the top 10 guys. I think he could compete with the top 5 guys. Now he still has a lot to learn. Of course he's still raw. I wouldn't necessarily want him, fighting a top 5 guy for another year, maybe, type deal. But a top 5 prospect though, a top 5 prospect in and around his division, I most definitely do want to see him. Fight one of those guys. The guys at the top of their division, Earl and Bud. You know what I mean? They tied up. Keith Thurman, don't want to fight nobody. Nobody that's a real threat. He was supposed to fight Conor McGregor, never happened. Keith Thurman don't want to fight nobody that's a real threat. Ugas is hurt. You know what I mean? Right now still. Ugas is hurt. My bad. He said Bomac is like attack. Let him run into something. Yeah, right, bro. Like what kind of two leagues was that? You know what I mean? Yeah, Ugas is one of the top guys, right? But I don't think Virgil Ortiz will have a problem with your Daniels Ugas. I think if anything, it's an entertaining fight, close fight. I may, well, Ugas would be a tough fight for Virgil. I have to see how he is after the Errol Spence fight. But pre-Errol Spence, Ugas would have been a tough fight. You know what I mean? For Virgil. But like I was saying, but outside of the guys of the top 5, top 10 for sure. I don't think anybody is beating Virgil Ortiz. So I want to see him either fight, a top 10 guy or a top 10 prospect. I think it's that time, for Virgil. Take that next step. You know what I mean? I see him coming along. I see him picking up the little minute, nuances of the game, more head movement. He's not just, walking straight in on people no more. Just trying to out strong you, out brute you, and get you out of there. That's what got him in trouble against Mean Machine. And that might have been, when he made the switch. When Mean Machine dropped him. Virgil got a lot more defensive aware. And last night he was extremely, aware on defense. He was extremely aware on defense, and it paid off. He showed great patience, last night. He also showed great placement with his punches last night. Bro, who I want to see Virgil fight next. I would like to see Virgil fight. He's just a little team, my bro, and TWE team as well. Respects. Virgil started out rusty. He's not ready for Crawford, not yet. I like him fighting a big. They both like to punch. I think that's not a bad fight. Fact. Shout out my guy Aiden Johnson. Appreciate you sliding through this joint, Aiden. Glad you can make it. Glad you can make it, pimp. Y'all do your boy a favor. Y'all smash that like button for your boy when you roll on in, whether you're here for a good time or a long time if you could. Smash that like button for your boy when you roll on in. I done talked about, free things today. Right now we talking about Virgil. I'm talking about Virgil and his performance and what I want to see from him next. He said Virgil reminds me of Canelo, but a better mover with the foot. Canelo is still better upper body mover. He's I hit the like button. Okay, bet. Shout out my guy Aiden. Appreciate it. I like that comparison. I can see that. I think Virgil ready, man. I think Virgil ready. Yeah, I don't want to see him fight Earl, or I don't want to see him fight Bud or nothing like that, because I don't think he ready to beat those guys. Do I think he ready to to compete with those guys? Yeah, I do. I do think he ready to compete with those guys. Do I think he ready to beat them? Do I think he ready to successfully compete with those guys? No, I don't think he ready to successfully compete with those guys. I do think he could get in the ring with those guys and not get dismantled. You know what I mean? But no, I don't think he could beat him right now or a type deal. But I do think Virgil could beat anybody else outside of the top 4 or 5 guys. To be real with you, I would much rather see the younger prospects at 147, get together, fight each other. The Conor Beans, the David Evanesians, the Stadonises, guys like that. I would love to see those guys get together. You know what I mean, and fight each other. But it's kind of looking like everybody, it's kind of just waiting, for Earl and Bud to vacate or Earl and Bud to do their thing. Type deal, but in the meantime, I would love it for those guys if they would throw down, you know what I mean, with each other, type deal. I think Virgil Ortiz is one of the best, of the young crop. I really got Jerome Booth Ennis as number 1 out of the young guys, and I got Virgil Ortiz, you know what I mean, second, and I got Conor Ben third. I don't think the gap is that huge between Virgil and Conor Ben though. I really don't. You know what I mean, but I got him, up in there right now. Conor Bean did come out recently, and he called out Boots, and he called out. He was talking. Damn, I forgot what the fuck I was trying to say. He said Virgil and Spence would be a more fun fight to watch than Virgil and Bud. Reason because they both come forward and throw a lot of punches. Whoever breaks down first loses. Spence is more durable. I think Spence more durable. Spence stronger. Spence is a better boxer. Spence is a better body puncher. Spence is more durable. Yeah, Spencer, they'll kill him. That will kill him. Bud to be nah, early kill him. Bud would be Bud would be easier on the body for him. He may lose both fights, right? But Bud to be, I think physically Bud to be easier on him. Earl Spence go test him physically and mentally right now. I think that'll fuck him up. I think that will break him. You know what I mean? I don't. That's why I want him to fight either one of those guys right now. I more so want the younger guys, to get in there and do their thing, teach. I don't really want to see them fight the Vex right now because they gotta fight each other. You know what I mean? They got shit that they gotta do as well. But Virgil is the real deal, though. I know Virgil ain't no slouch. I see him coming. You know what I mean? I see him coming, and he getting better. Him and Conor being getting better. That's why I keep, bringing that up. I want to see them boys. I want to see them boys, you know what I mean, go at it. I want to see some combination of the young guys at 47 go at it because it's getting to the point where shit, it's almost like though none of them want to fight each other. It's getting to the point shit where none of them want to fight each other. He said, was it the Conor Van fight hype interview you were trying to remember? No, that fight hype interview, that was a while ago. I know what you're talking about. Yeah, that one. I remember that one. Conor Bean said this on his live stream. Nah, Conor Bean said this yesterday, bro. He said this like 2 days ago, 3 days ago or something. He said this week. Conor Bean said he wanted Boots. He wanted to fight Boots and Virgil. All right, my bad. He said Ben would be a good fight for fighters who love to let their hands go. Close fight. Ben did mention him as well. And Boots. He should fight Ben. That's a good fight right there. Facts, buddy. Facts. Everybody said, everybody been asking about Conor Bean, start calling these guys names. And now let's see if they guys respond. Let's see if they guys respond. I'm gonna talk about. I'm back on my game Monday tomorrow. I'm back on my game now. Folks don't know it. I'm back on my game. We gonna talk about it. We gonna bring these conversations to light. We gonna bring these convos to light, man. Yeah, we gonna bring it to light. Conor Bean is he moving just like I asked him to move, and he moving just like a guy. He moving just like a young prospect should move. You know what I mean? He ain't doing nothing no different from nobody else. You know what I mean? He said, I think the business side is waiting for Bud and Spence to get it over with. Man, I think they gonna fight right now, but they wait no more. It's a legal situation with that, man. It's a legal situation with Bud and Spence. It's a legal situation, bro. Yeah, it's a legal situation with it's a legal situation with that one, man. I'm really, man. I'm so sick of talking about that from them folks that teach. I ain't lying to you, dog. I'm so sick of talking about them folks that teach. I get so sick of talking about them folks that. But I ain't gonna keep y'all here too long, man. I just wanted to come here, shoot the shit, get y'all more. Unless y'all want me to stay a little longer. Y'all want me to stay 30 more minutes, I'll stay 30 more minutes. But I ain't gonna keep y'all in this junk too long. I know it's Sunday morning. Y'all gotta get to, what y'all gotta do and everything. I normally drop the link and shit. I ain't even dropped the link for y'all this Sunday. But you know what I mean? I ain't gonna hold y'all up too long. I know y'all got shit to do. Type D. I want to, just make sure I come in here I give y'all my thoughts for all the fights on the weekend. For the fights that happened this weekend. You know what I mean? I think Blair Cobb, he kind of revived his career. I can see him being an elite level gatekeeper. You know what I mean? Gatekeep keep guys in, keep guys out. Show the prospects. You know, get the prospects a good run. You know what I mean? See where they at. I think he could be one of those guys. I think he could make it. I think he put himself in position, to keep getting, nice fights. I won't say big fights, but main card fights type deal. He kept himself. He kept himself in the mix. You know what I mean? So shout out to Conor Ben for that kid. Austin looked great. He looked like young Adrian Broner to me. Mo Hooker looked horrible, but I'm blaming, Mo Hooker looking horrible on his trainer. That Blair Cobb, I don't think it was an elite performance. His runner, no, elite level gatekeeper. Elite level. I didn't, man. Teach. Don't you ever tell nobody Southern T. Don't you ever tell nobody Southern T said Blair Cobb had an elite level performance. I said he could be an elite level gatekeeper. He could keep the fighters like out of the top 10. You know what I mean? He could keep fighters out of the top 10. Elite level gatekeeper. He put himself into a position for that because he can talk. He can sell a fight. He can sell a fight. You know what I mean? And he can box. You know what I mean? But nah, I ain't say he was elite. I said he could be in the an elite level gatekeeper type deal. But now I don't think he elite at all. I'm just referring to my observation. Okay, TJ. Yeah, I want to make sure that I want to make sure nobody ever thought that Southern T thought Blair Cobb was elite. But hell yeah. But again, man, I ain't gonna keep y'all too long. Appreciate y'all folks sliding through this and everybody that came through. Oh, shit, they go Coach Joe. What's good, Coach Joe? I'm finna rob the bookie in a minute. I know the game's 11. I'm finna rob the bookie. That's why I'm sliding on up out of here. I'm finna rob the bookie in a minute. Unless y'all want to do it, man. If I could do it here, I'd do it here. We could do it right here, fuck. We could do it right here. What's good, dude? We could do it. We could keep the boxing conversation going. So what fights we got coming up next? What we got next? We got Teofimo Lopez. Teofimo Lopez come back next week. Oh, he fight what? Pedro Ocampo. He's at Cobbs, having a new team can definitely be a game changer in his career. That win last night might have put him in the top 10 now. Plus, he come back, pick a tough fight off of the back. I think the top 10, nah, I don't think so. Nah. I think that win might have put Blair Cobb in the top 30, the top 25 welterweights or something like that. Because I think he was ranked 40 something at first. Rocha is what? Like a top 10, not top 10, top 10 welterweight. Because he was ranked 25 and he beat Blair. So I think Rocha probably ranked about in the teens or something right now. I bet y'all. He said, I like Rocha. He can box. I was watching what I could in Campo. He seems to be mostly offense with wide left and right hooks. Yeah, T.O. should whip his ass. He tell Alexa play 3P by Lil Wayne. Right. Right. Yeah. We going for the 3P today, coach. We going for the 3P today, Coach Joe. Said damn 46. Yeah. Yeah, I know he was 47 before he fought Roach. He lost to Roach. He just won again. So he probably in the top 30 right now. He probably put himself in the top 30, with that win over Mo Hooker. He probably put himself in the top 30. 30 something with that. They drop that link to us when you finish cooking. Shit, I'm slick finished now. Yeah, I can drop the link for y'all. Y'all wanna come shoot the shit on this Sunday? And I want to come shoot the shit on the Sunday. Drop the link for you. There you go. Hey, yeah, that was clutch right there. My bad. Yeah, y'all, my bad. I'm multitasking, y'all. I'm multitasking. That was clutch right there, man. My bad, y'all. But yeah, T.O. fight next week. I ain't sure who on his undercard or whatnot, but I know he the main event. I gotta check the wire. I gotta check the wire for the undercard. See exactly who on T.O. under. He said the announcer said Blair put himself in the Virgil Ortiz conversation. I'm like, hell no, he didn't. I can't see Blair lasting 4 rounds with Ortiz. He put himself in the Ortiz conversation. Now he did put himself in the Ortiz conversation because right now, those the kind of guys that Ortiz, is fighting. So I very well could see him fighting Ortiz. And they both golden boy. It's probably what they building up. You know what I mean? Probably what they setting up. He said Cobbs should rematch Rocha. He will have more time to train and put up a better fight this time, in my opinion, though, bro. I don't know. I think he needs to stay away from Rocha. I just think Rocha a better fighter. I think Rocha just a better fighter than Cobb. Cobb really just uses his bike a lot. And he don't tuck his chin. He have his chin straight out in there. I got yeah, I agree with you, Teach. You said Rocha would stop Blair again. Yeah, I agree with you. I don't think, I don't think Blair want them problems. He may want some problems, but not them, not right now.
It's a stylistic bad matchup, not
Yeah.
even a matchup for him.
Yeah, Blair don't really know how to. He got around Mo Hooker high guard. He got around Mo Hooker high guard because I just think Mo Hooker was just too slow.
Man, white water wise.
You know what I mean? But Blair can't really get. He couldn't get around. He couldn't get around Roach's high guard and his tight his shell defense. He don't know how to beat the shell defense in the high guard because he like to dance and throw his jabs and his hooks, and it's hard for him to do that on the high guard. You got to break hard for him to do that on the high guard shell. You got to break the high guard shell down when they high guard their top and they shell their stomach. You gotta chop away at that. And Blair Cobb don't like to chop away at punches because he don't like getting hit at all. He don't like getting hit with one punch. He want to hit and not get hit, which is what you're supposed to do, but he literally don't want to get hit at all. You know what I mean? So he have a hard time breaking down the high guard shell because he don't throw punches in combinations. All right, okay. All right. Go ahead, yeah, man. I'm finna put my shit up now. I ain't gonna do it while I'm here. I might as well.
Shit, we Shaq and Kobe.
Might as well. You Shaq and Penny, man. Shaq and Skinny.
Shaq and Sidney.
Shaq and Skinny, man. What the fuck was I doing last night for $1.56? Fuck was
Oh,
I
put
on
me on
last night
that.
before I went to sleep?
Oh yeah, let me. I'm gonna shoot you something too.
Fuck was I on? Okay. That's MLB basketball. Oh yeah, in the minor league. They should have added more than minor league games up there. Yeah, I went through most of them last night. I think I went through all the MLB last night. I'm ahead of the game, my boy. That's what I was doing before I fell asleep.
Yeah, I just shot you something too.
Let me
I got like 4 slips right now. I've been
Dodgers.
working on this morning. Did some research on the baseball too. We alternate line in that bitch today.
Hell yeah. You see, I know you
Hey,
see
I
all
took
my
y'all with plus 2.5.
I know you
Can't
see
get
all
no
my
Frankie.
alternate shit up there.
Yeah, throw me on that jump. Which damn, you got an 18 leg. I know you ready. Slice.
Because I did a lot of alternates, so I had to put more games. Man, I just hit like 320 legs yesterday. Nigga can't tell me shit. No, I'm just playing.
Come on now. Talk your shit.
Trying to see how many it's only 2 minors today. Yeah.
Bro, the way we've been going like the last couple weeks, like we was hitting shit, it would just be like 1 or 2 fights. So niggas was due for one.
Yeah, we will do. You sent me.
7.
Yeah. So 2 on this joint is 550 basically. 549.
Bet.
66.
Dollar each.
Nah, we gonna do 4.
4.
Yeah.
Ooh.
It's egg
That's a
game. Man,
grind.
I did them stipulations. I might go stretch the stipulations out some more. Shit. I did. I put points on I put 2 points on the Guardians, 1.5 on Philly, 1.5 on the Orioles, 1.5 on Rays let me down yesterday.
Dang.
I need to put
They
2.
got a better pitcher. Well, Shane, they ace. I don't know how he fucked that.
Yeah, I'm gonna put 2 on them. May leave them out, bro. And I got the Brewers to win straight up. The Brewers lost for us yesterday, didn't?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna stretch out the Rays points. Put the Brewers with some points on there. Reds, I got Red Sox 2.5, Jays 1.5, Yankees 1.5. May need to do them 2.5. Now we shouldn't. Now we got that. Now we shouldn't. The new picture on the mountain today, and I got San Francisco. Diamondbacks 1.5. Mets 1.5. Dodgers 1.5. So let me look at that Brewers joint again. Oh, I know I took the Brewers straight up. They got my boy in the mouth. That's what it was. Burns. Yeah, okay, that's why. Yeah. Yep. So I'm Gucci. Yeah, we Gucci. So I'm gonna do that one. That way, I want to let me add the points to. I want to add the points to Philly, not Philly, not the Orioles. Maybe the Orioles and the Rays add the points to. I'm never betting without changing the line again.
Telling that shit clutch. Because the teams did well yesterday. I did a lot more alternates than I usually do. And them bitches was hitting. I think who got blown out yesterday? It was a favorite. Well, I think it was Houston. Houston had got
Yeah.
blown out, but I don't think they're gonna get blown out.
I don't think I took Houston today. Damn, don't play today, dude.
Houston played the first game. Yeah, they played the first game. They played the Guardians. I know you hate going against.
Yeah, I think I took the
I put
Guardians.
2.5.
I took Guardians with 2.5.
See, we be right there with each other. Telling you. I took us with 2.5 as well. Just cause.
I'm about to put 2.5 on the Yankees and Diamondback. See what they do. Oh, this Mets. Okay. Diamondbacks. Strider. Ooh, I don't like that one. They got some pictures up there, boy. I'm gonna add one more to the Diamondbacks. I'm gonna see what they do.
Oh, don't forget what you call too.
Who?
It's for WNBA.
I took them.
Oh, you did. Which ones you took? I know you took Sky.
Yeah. Oh shit. Yeah, that's cool. I took Sky, Storm, Mystics. I'm gonna put a little more on in this. No, I don't gotta put the Phillies like
That ain't bad. $4 for goddamn 420 days.
I'm finna get the Orioles one more point. They at home though. They should, and they got Watkins at the mound. They shouldn't need it.
That's just shit. You do it just in case. That's like if they happen to trick, we could fall back on that points.
Yeah.
But it's up to you.
No, I'm trying to hit. I'm trying to hit again today, nigga. I'm trying to.
Oh, we going for 3-peat.
Yeah, I'm trying to compound this shit. And if I hit another one like that, nigga, I'd be good. I hit another one like that. The Phillies ain't gonna need them points, right? They shouldn't.
Mm-mm.
The Phillies ain't gonna need that extra. They said enough for the day over here. Listen. Jay sucks. Jags.
The only game I think it took a couple games right now. I'm making one more. I took Boston straight up. They lost in on a walk off yesterday. I think they're gonna beat them. The pitcher they trotting out today on the Royals, some shit.
Some shit.
Yeah, that boy bad. He like what was I was just looking at that shit. He Keller. He 5-12 with a 4.6.
So I go 1 on them. I think I'm gonna go 2 on the White Sox too.
You made the Dodgers or the Padres the
Dodgers.
Dodgers. I think they're gonna sweep them. They busting their ass.
Jays. Who you got? The Jays and the Twins.
It didn't. It was, bro. It's been locked since earlier this morning on my jump. I can't even see the odds. Yours unlocked.
Yeah, I got Jays +1. I made them the underdog. And I got San Francisco and the Brewers straight up. I know I picked the Brewers straight up. What made me pick San Francisco? What made me pick San Francisco straight up? Well, yeah, so I'm gonna put us 2 feet a piece on MC for 60. So we get 217 a piece off that one.
Yeah.
They added some more minor league now.
Word. You gonna toss him in?
They added one more.
Oh, just one
They
more.
may be adding them as the morning pop off though, as the days open up. I'm gonna put one of them in. We got one of them on. We got the Columbus Clippers. They ain't lost yet.
Sheesh.
I took the same games, but I took them straight up this time. Don't need to add all of them. I left out. Yep. So that's all the baseball for the day. All the major league in one. So what I add to that one? Yeah, those stipulations. All right, so let's see. Phillies, Orioles. Red Sox, Rangers, Red Sox, Giants. Mm, First time. 2.
How much of that money you put to the side or will using in the bet?
You know what you sent me?
Nah, from the earnings, from the winnings.
I left shit, all of it really.
Yeah, I be leaving my shit in
Yeah, I took it out the
PayPal.
yeah. I took it. Now, I took it out of there, but I ain't used shit. I stuck that bitch in. I'm pretending like I ain't never win it. I'm trying, you know what I mean?
Bet, bro, man.
I'm
I'm
pretending.
trying to just let that joint accumulate. Like,
yep,
each
on
week.
everything. I'm trying to act like I ain't never win it.
We just gonna stay the course.
Yeah.
Act like we.
Damn, what the fuck just happened? Like that bitch jump like that. Oh. Oh. Why the fuck that throw my 18 leg back in here? You saw that? See that shit? Fuck that, y'all. Is Gomez for the Martiners? I said Martin. The Mariners good.
Gonzalez. What is his record? I think he floating around 500. I believe. Double check just in case. Oh hell no! I'm tripping. I was thinking another game. He's 6-11 with a
What the
3.9, and the Angels pitcher 1 and 2 with a 6.
Oh.
So it's gonna be a bad jump. Oh man.
Nakathor. Yeah, they adding more games and shit now. Yeah, they is starting to add. No, that's the same one. That's the same one. They added one. Oh no, they didn't. They is adding. They adding right here in my face right now as we speak. Cause that one just right there.
Yeah, y'all playing Norfolk Tides.
I'm gonna leave it like that. I think we up in that series 3-0 right now. Well, that ain't no. That's Nashville. We down in our series 2-1. Yeah, they putting them jumps in now. Yep. They starting to
Oh,
put
I know
the
you ready to drop
things
something
in.
and put something in.
I'm gonna leave this one like that. I'm gonna make that 8. I'm gonna leave that 8. Matter of fact, I'm gonna pick the 2 best minor league teams. Them is actually the 2 best teams. I ain't lost on them folks yet, bro. Not one time I lost on the Clippers or the Nashville Sound.
Since you found out about it.
Yep.
Mm.
Gwinnett, I lost once on Gwinnett. I'm 2-1 with Gwinnett. I'm gonna let them. I'm gonna take them 2 though. The Sound and the Clippers. It'll be 8. That's 100 right there. Phillies, Red Sox, Bills, Giants, Diamondbacks, Dodgers. Okay, this is how they put up there so far. Toledo, I went with them too. Mudham, still. I'm gonna throw them back on Indianapolis in there. Indianapolis ain't going net. That'll be a 10. So that'll be what, 4? 4 minor, 4 major. 4 minus 6 major. Let's see. Let me get a Diamondbacks 1 point, 1.5. Yeah, so we go to Phillies, Boston Bills, Giants, Dodgers, Clippers, Sounds, Strippers, Stripers. I call them for strippers, stripers. Indians, Diamondbacks. do that. Phillies, Red Sox, Brewers, Giants, Dodgers. Phillies, Red Sox, Brewers, Giants, Dodgers. Clippers, Sounds, Stripers, Mets. 6 major, 3 minor. Never I can drive. I can drive. Phillies, Red Sox, Brewers. Actually, let me see something real quick. Let me get in my bag for a second. Try to get us some shit about the evening time. Let me get in my bag real quick.
That's why I can't do minor leagues. They terrible.
What happened?
No, I'm saying they won't let me do minors. Minor
Oh,
league.
yeah. Phillies, Red Sox, Brewers. That's rough for the four right there. I bet. So we got one where we splitting 440.
Mm-hmm.
We got one. Where we split 210. I said this one up for all the early games. 11.
Yeah, it's some shit. Really.
So hopefully the Brewers and shit will be done by the two minor leagues. So we have two minor leagues
Right.
at three. I'm gonna be pissed off the Brewers lose the Brewers straight up and everything. Diaz, what's good, Diaz? Said those some nice odds. Yeah. I be setting it up, man. I be setting that shit up, Diaz, man. Try to get us one earlier, one later. I ain't even know it was 80 y'all in here watching me do that shit. We have the games come on at 11. I'm gonna go 10 more minutes. I'm gonna go 10 more minutes on this jump. 220. We get straight. I'm gonna go 2 more minutes on this jump. Cause I like even numbers. Hopefully, we won't start off. Hopefully, we start off winning, so I don't got to get to making 1,000 parlays. So I don't got to make 1,001 parlays today.
Right. Is
Start
what you call over TBT?
Yeah, so
Who won?
blue collar you, Vice.
Damn, that's crazy. They was upsetting favorites left and right.
Yeah. And I go, what's the first game? Guardians. I like the Guardians. Yeah, I watch the game. I watch the Guardian game. I'm gonna set up I'm gonna set up something for it. Yes, I like. They actually wanted low key wanted the team that like really it's that picture they got McKenzie, the black dude. I like. I
Yeah.
think he gonna be one of the. I think he gonna be coach as hell in a couple years.
Oh yeah, he gonna be straight. He gonna be solid.
Yeah, man, he pitched today, so I watched that motherfucker. Keep my feet up, roast blunts up. You know, every day in the neighborhood. I'm doing the what's good, Edgar? Appreciate you sliding through this, John Edgar. Glad you can make it. Glad you can make it, pimp. What's good, Egg? We closing this joint out, Egg. We closing this joint out. What's good, Edgar? We were talking about the post fight. We were having the post fight reactions from the fights this weekend. I just took care of my habit. I'll tell you this. If the Guardians start the day off today and with a win, I know something. I know something today.
Right.
I know something today. My bad. I was like, it's all good, pimp. I'm about to bring up another joint in a minute, in a second. I ain't finna be talking. Well, actually, we probably is, but you know, we about to ride the bookie, yeah, damn it.
Yes, sir.
And I'm gonna do a stream a little later on. tonight. A regular one, another one. We about to ride the bookie right now. Shout out my guy Edgar Chavez in the super chat. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Let me drop the flames for my guy in there super. Yeah. Appreciate you, pimp. I've been having fast things. And we got the Guardians plus 2.5 in the big one. We got them to win straight up in the other one.
Yeah.
So we got MMA coming up this week. Contender Series Tuesday. This nigga name is Edgar Chavez. Oh, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 fights Tuesday. They gave me Contender Series. You should have that minor league shit soon, then.
Man, I've been checking every day we up it. Let me see if I gotta update the app because sometimes it won't update automatically. So might be no, it's updated.
What basketball we got today? Lithuanian. Sky. Mystics. Storm. Links on the Dream.
That's tough.
And no big three today?
Not that I seen, no big three. It's just WNBA and the international basketball.
Reggie said to the big three today. And we ain't got too much going on. Wonder why they waited. Yeah, they add the minor league, man. I'm finna take our second one out and add more games, early games, so I can try to get us some money early. I'm finna take it back and then do it over. It's a 12 o'clock basketball game too. I'm gonna add the Sky in there. I'm finna throw the baseball, the Guardians in that hole. I think I might put them one with the points in this one. Stuff in there. Finna try to get us some early shit going. Try to have us turned around this
month. It's some shit of soccer too. Bro, they got about 40 soccer games. That shit crazy. All them shits start early too. I think I took a parlay with just that. See if it hit early.
They been fucked up adding this minor league, boy.
Man.
What's good, Clarence? T20. Appreciate you sliding through this, young Clarence. TWT in the building. We finishing up the goddamn fight prediction. Not predictions. Finish up the damn post fight reaction. I'm gambling now. That's what I'm doing. Mm, Dodgers at 2. Toledo. Let me check their pictures real quick. Yeah, they added hella games. Redbirds play today at 5. I wonder if they're in Memphis.
What?
The Memphis Redbirds. Matter of fact, let me see.
It should be, right?
Let me see.
I thought you said they played
And
somewhere.
I want to do they are they playing in Memphis today?
Oh, you know the bottom team, the home team.
I think not. Boy, let me see. Nope. We in Jacksonville. Okay, bet. Thought I had me something to do today. 12, 11, 12, 12, 12, 1, 1, 12. I didn't lost money on the Durham Bulls and the Worcester Red Sox. I don't know who to bet. And each other
Dang.
in this series. They've been playing each other close the whole series.
Who up? Who up in the series?
The Red Sox, I think. I'm finna check now actually what I'm doing. They got the Bulls, the underdog this game. I'm leaning towards the Red Sox. I'm gonna check them out though. They gonna tell us who. Pretty easy to find. That website pretty easy. Got one base website. Don't got who pitching up here yet. 56, 48, 44, and 50. Don't got who pitching up here. Let me check the other game, see who pitching in that one. Buffalo Bison. Oh, this the Blue Jays. 5-8 with a 7.35 ERA. 0-1 with a 3.86 ERA. Bet, so I'm gonna take that one. I'm gonna put it back up here so you can see. So you can see what the hell I'm twerking on. So we went a whole week with Bud and Mac and Texas and still can't find an idiot other than that down the line bullshit. The y'all know how I feel about that T20, man. Y'all know how I feel about that one.
Man, actually, Bud been in Texas the last 3 times in the last month.
Mm-hmm.
Shit, motherfucker been back to back.
Mo Hooker was down there. Yeah, so Toledo Mudhounds. I won with them yesterday. Won with them a couple times actually. But I want to see who they playing. I like how they tell you their affiliate.
Oh yeah, fact.
Don't got their pictures up here yet.
That should be cross country. They should do it like how they do with the G League. This goddamn who's Memphis major league
Cardinals.
team?
St. Louis Cardinals. Memphis Redbirds.
You come from the South to the Midwest.
Mm-hmm. I've been winning money on the Cubs and the Hens.
Word.
I'm gonna stay away from that one.
They playing each other. That's why.
Mm-hmm. I wish I knew who their pictures was. It'd make it a lot easier though.
Fact.
They tell you, but sometimes they pop up like right before the games and shit. See, we third. Toledo behind us. So I really need these bitches to lose.
Right.
And the stripers in there.
You took all the games in our jumps. Or you picked around.
I picked around. Just like I'm doing now. I'm trying to get us some early jumps now. What you could take?
Shit early.
You could take the points.
You can fuck with the soccer to tie no bets if you looking for early because they got a lot of early jump. That's just if you want to do it. If push come to shove, you can't find nothing else. You ain't really seeing.
Yeah, that's how we do that. That's how we do that. And not another team. I just got a couple cents on that motherfucker. Yep. I'm cool with that. Hey, you get us something fun in the morning. So I'm trying to get it early. I lay this game at 1:11. So about 3:30, something like that, maybe 4. We should be cooking with hot grease around this motherfucker. We should be some smiling faces.
Yes, sure. 3P, baby.
And then we still got the big one for later. It lasts all day with the points and shit. I mean, hopefully these niggas win. So that's our second jump. We ain't make this. I used the so we only got 2 right now. So we still at 2. And that 17 look huge, but I really finessed it though. We shouldn't go wrong with it.
I just can't see the favorites getting all blown out.
Right. The Phillies up 1. The Phillies the only they should win the easiest, but I got them +1.
Right.
The Blue Jays +1. I'm a little scared of the Blue Jays, just ain't gonna lie. But they picture decent. They got a good picture today.
Who the
Jays?
Yeah, Gossman.
Yeah, he decent. Yeah, so they said that's what we do. And then we gotta do some live shit. Did they apply no pressure on that nigga, bro? Yeah, in fact, you know. You know. Literally, folks ain't got and nobody got nothing to do. But you still can't. You still ain't got this shit enough. I think they go. I think they go fight though. All things considered.
Who gonna fight?
But in there,
Oh yeah. I'm still optimistic, man. I think it's signed, but also I think they still trying to see what that Callahan situation, that MCK shit, man.
I think they go fight. All things considered. Yeah, all things considered. I think they go do it. I ain't gonna lie though. If they don't announce it this month, I don't think they gonna do it.
Yeah.
Which would be fucking terrible. It really
Terrible, man.
ain't no reason for it not to happen at this moment, especially. Let me do something. Let me do what's good, D Freak. Let me do something without a TWT and B. Let me do something
What's
with
good, free?
I'm finna pick out the jumps real quick. Most of them. We'll pick all them joints just to give myself some excitement for the day. For a buck. Fuck it, I'm throwing Lithuania in there.
Oh yeah, I did. They like -35.
Mm-hmm. I ain't picking the Dreaming Links game still. Fuck that. Mm-mm.
Shit, we got 30 minutes till first pitch.
No,
What you gonna start? You gonna start it in the new stream then?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, we gonna do that. Yeah, let's hope that 21 leg hit today.
Bird.
Yeah. More Red Bulls. I need y'all to win today. Y'all got them folks one game behind y'all now. Letting Jacksonville kick your ass and shit. How many games in the minor league season?
Hey man, Michael Sam still playing football. That's crazy.
I gotta order me a new card. I broke my shit the other day.
You broke what?
A card. Broke it. It's I can still use it, but that whole half a card, I gotta order another drink. Man. Hey, I'm finna go and start that joint. I'm finna go and
Bet.
start that, man. 2:45. Yeah, that work. What's good, Grab? Appreciate you sliding through this young Grab. Glad you can make it. I'm about to rob the bookie, man. I'm about to rob the bookie. Just did my weekend morning reaction. About to rob the bookie. About to do the watch party for the day. Y'all know what's going on. Catch me on the other side. You know how to always setting T. This ain't the past. This ain't the future. Which is the present. That's how we rocking. And I'm out. Love.